Welcome to Heroes Cup TV. This is episode number 4. Every episode I try and make it a little different and highlight areas that are really important to us. Today I want to highlight FirstNet. So FirstNet is one of our big sponsors at the event, really plays a big role. You guys have probably seen them around getting involved with the event in terms of really owning the event as far as what everybody knows the Heroes Cup to be. Without our sponsors, really, we wouldn't be able to have the event, but at the same time, their sponsorship, you guys, that money goes a long way to helping our first responders, so it's very appreciated. With me, Bob, Dennis from FirstNet. I appreciate you guys coming out. I certainly appreciate you guys' support of the Heroes Cup. Let's start simple. Tell us a little bit about FirstNet. So, obviously, some of our first responder community knows about it, but tell everybody in terms of the Heroes Cup world about FirstNet and what you guys do.
Well, thanks for having us, Mike. And Dennis is a first responder as well as a FirstNet consultant, so I'll let him speak, and he's got some important insight to share. But we're happy to be a sponsor. This is our 3rd year, and right from the jump, when you mentioned this to us 3 years ago, we said, yeah, this is perfect for us. We would love to join. We support first responders. If you're a first responder and you've got that black FirstNet SIM in your phone, you're going to get priority through the network. It's going to cut through all the congestion. The reason why FirstNet was built because of 9/11 and events like the Marathon bombing, when public safety couldn't communicate because there's so much congestion on the network. So that's what we do, and we're there to support first responders at the event. I mean, our retail purpose is to help people with their phones. If they want to get on FirstNet, we'll give them an iPhone right there, and we'll migrate them to FirstNet. But it's become a lot more than that as we've gotten into the event and experienced it and had a lot of fun working with the first responders there. It's become a lot more than that to us.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's so important to allow these guys and girls to be able to get out of their high stress job and go relax and kick back. And with FirstNet, we've made it a priority. Our mental health awareness and program that we put in place within FirstNet, recognizing that health and wellness is a big deal for our first responders and the community. So we're always excited to show up and help out, and really it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I think the weekend is great for health and wellness for first responders. I mean, that's kind of the kick that we get out of it, is we see these first responders roll in from everywhere, not just the Northeast, but you've got teams from California, Florida, all over, and they come in and they have fun for the weekend. And we're set up there, and we've got our FirstNet tents, and we've got our cornhole and our ping pong, and we're set up right next to the beer tents out there, and people are having fun. And I think one time at night, and they've all got their RVs, and they're just letting loose for the weekend, and that's what we appreciate. Because Dennis is a first responder, and that's what we do as a job, is work with first responders. And when big events come in, which are normally nights and weekends, we're on call too, providing whatever communication needs they have. So we see a lot of that, and we enjoy to see them at the Heroes Cup because we see them having so much fun. And one night I remember, we clock out of there at around 8 or so when the hockey games are over, but we got these FirstNet tents, and I guess it started raining one night, and they came over and took our FirstNet tent and carried it out in the parking lot because they were tailgating, way into the hours of the morning, and they used our tent to carry on their tailgating, and the next morning they brought it back over to us and said, "Hey, thanks for letting us use this
didn't have any holes or anything in it.
No, they took good care of it. But we were happy. We were happy that the tent was used for tailgating.
I think that's the same night that at like 3 o'clock in the morning they figured out how to turn on my stage, and they had an impromptu karaoke party going that night. So
there you go.
You don't ask, you tell.
Right. Well, hey, as long as they're police and firefighters, they're not going to get in too much trouble.
That's right. So I mean, every year you guys really do a good job. You kind of really adapt to the environment. You get away from the table aspect, I think is really kind of cool. As a sponsor, you guys are not there just trying to sell a product or a service. You're there ultimately taking in the event, the cornhole, the games that I'm seeing. I saw a bunch of videos of stuff going on at your booth, different games, competitiveness, and it's just simply about interacting and saying thank you to the guys, and that's kind of what we're about. Is that health and wellness event. What you said is spot on in terms of this weekend away. These guys need this. I mean, this job is very taxing on them. They need a weekend away, but at the same time, they're having a weekend away while helping another charity. I mean, that's kind of what first responders do, right? Even when they're having a weekend to themselves doing something, they're still helping in that regard. So definitely appreciate you guys coming every year, being a sponsor, whatever we can do. Hopefully we people will stop by, see something we have whatever you guys have in store for this year. I don't know if you guys have any plans you want to tease people with a little bit about some of the stuff you're thinking for this year.
Yeah, so we're definitely excited for this year, and we're looking forward to amp it up a little bit every year, come up with some new ideas. And Dennis and I are always there, and I've got other members of my team throughout New England that support FirstNet across New England and support the first responders. They're on site, but we also have the retail people, and I tell you, it's just a great group. And to give you an example of a great event, the retail people will go out and they'll work the parking lot. They'll go up to people tailgating and say, hey, I'm here from FirstNet. Do you need any help with your phone? That's a hard thing to do, right? Because they're kind of like selling, right? And they come back and they say, these people are great. They offered me a beer, There's
no shortage of that.
Right. They didn't treat me as an annoying salesperson.
Right.
They welcomed me in and they talked to me, and that's why we really like the event, because they're great people and they're great to work with. And everyone just has fun.
You guys do it right. Kind of just getting involved in the event and kind of having fun, and we're all there for the same purpose. Whether the parking lot's a mile down the road, nobody's complaining about that because everyone's there for the same reason. I mean, somebody said it best to me. They said, you don't go to Disney World and expect to park front row,
Right.
If you're going to want to go to a great event, crowds and stuff are there. Well, the motorhomes, I think people are starting to show up on like Tuesday now. They're showing up so early trying to get that spot. And that whole tailgating environment builds every year. I heard one team this year is planning on bringing a hot tub. Like, they're just always trying to outdo themselves every year. And we, as an event and as sponsors, try and hold suit and all right, let's do it better next year. So certainly appreciate you guys coming in. FirstNet's been a great partner to the Heroes Cup, but also a great partner to the fire department. I know we're using it in Sudbury, where I'm at, and we have a great connection to that point where it's nice having the ability to trust your cell provider. I know I can speak personally. I think it's extremely refreshing being able to call up a phone and talk to a live person instantly, and it's like, yep, no problem. All set, Mike. Yep, phone's at your house next week. Like, that doesn't happen. Like, it's such a laid-back environment. That sales role doesn't feel that way at all.
It's really apples and oranges. When you look at your commercial carriers, they're providing a commercial environment. This is a dedicated public safety network, right?
Yep.
So the expectation's that much higher. And frankly, we're contractually obligated to the federal government to provide a much higher level of support. So, really for first responders, it's a win-win because they're getting a much better product, and oftentimes they're saving some money as well.
A lot of money. I can speak personally. My bill dropped quite a bit.
Yeah. So I personally love the weekend, the camaraderie. As Bob mentioned, walking around. It's police, fire, it's EMS. They're all having fun together. Unfortunately, the only time that all those groups get together is at an emergency incident that's high stress or at a funeral, right? So for them to be able to come together, hang out, let loose, get the blood flowing on the rink.
Maybe a fight or two on the ice, but then they go out in the parking lot and have a beer together. It's all good.
It's hockey, it's fighting.
Part of the weekend.
That's
exactly.
Right. So.
Yeah, and 2 years ago, I think we had the Sat Colt there, the satellite Colt. I'm not sure what we'll do this year, something big. You mentioned a hot tub, that's an idea, but we've had the ping pong, the cornhole, and we had the Sat Colt because we can provide those as well. As Dennis said, it's not only priority on the network to get through all the congestion if there's an event, because it's the 1% of the time you need FirstNet. I mean, you can go out and test and say, yeah, FirstNet worked fine, but so did my other phone. But yeah, during that 1% of the time when you've got that emergency and nothing else is working, that's when you want FirstNet. And let's say there's a major force majeure event like a hurricane or a tornado or something. Cell towers are ripped out of the ground and it's just physics, the network's down. FirstNet customers can call in a Sat Colt and we can bring the cellular network back up with a satellite on wheels that's got a cellular antenna and provides a tower and then backhauls through the satellite network. And we had one of those on site 2 years ago.
Yeah, that truck's amazing.
Cool.
Yeah. All FirstNet customers have access to that, can call that in addition to getting the priority of the network. They also have access to those emergency vehicles. We can also do it on drones. We've got cell sites on drones, cell sites on blimps. And from health and wellness, you can also call in a support dog, a therapy dog.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, we had that dog last
there.
year.
Yeah.
So we've, as I mentioned, health and wellness is super important to us, and we've contracted with a company that provides support dogs. So any of our customers can call in if they've had a critical incident that they want to come in and do a debriefing. I mean, who doesn't like to have a dog that can come into the station. You know, folks often let their hair down, you know, to their animals, right?
Yeah.
They want to hold off with their family, but, you know, so we have that resource available at no cost for our customers. So,
Yeah, no, that's huge. I mean,
yeah.
absolutely huge. So ultimately, thank you guys. You guys do some great work, and you know, really
No,
appreciate
thank
the
you.
support, the friendship. I mean, it's been great having you guys.
great.
So,
Happy to help, honored to help.
Yeah.
all right.
Sure.
Well, what's the best way for people to get more information about FirstNet?
FirstNet.com.
Yeah, or, you know, have your local department reach out to us. We'd be happy to come in and talk to you not only about what's available at the agency level for the department, but also all the great deals that are available for first responders on their personal phone and family.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you guys also have a friends and family or family program now type thing where they can get in terms of discounted billing and stuff, so people can. I know I did that, merge all my
Yeah.
kids' lines and stuff like that all under one bill.
Right, so your line would be under FirstNet, and the rest of your family would be on the AT&T commercial side because they don't necessarily qualify, but they're getting 25% off because you're a first responder. So it's a nice, it you know, brings the whole family together. It's one bill, and it's a lot easier to manage, but giving you the priority that you need and the rest of your family a little bit of a discount on a great network.
Those are kind of things guys can do at the tournament, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and we'll be out front at the tournament. They can reach us out there. Anyone wonders how to get in touch with FirstNet, they can reach out to me or Dennis. We'll
Yep.
get them to the right person. If they're in New England, we'll take care of them here.
I think
if they're anywhere in the country, Dennis and I will find the right person for them to work with.
Perfect. I think at one point I looked over at you guys. You guys had at least 20 people working
Yeah.
in that booth.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people there.
Oh yeah, it's well staffed. Everyone loves working there. It's a great event.
Yeah, good. Well, I appreciate the support. Certainly check out their website. Come see them at the event. Looking forward to seeing you guys in June.
Yeah, thank
We'll
you.
be there.
All right.
All right.
Heroes Cup TV. Well, thanks for tuning in.